There's a Christian ministry in Arlington called Mission Arlington, and all the edible food that is not consumed on game nights at Globe Life Park in Arlington is donated to this ministry. That is just one reason why I love the Texas Rangers and respect them so much. My most treasured memory from my childhood is playing baseball in the yard with my parents and my two older brothers. My mom said I would be out there in a sundress with a pink bat playing like I was one of the boys. Not something I'll always cherish. Going to the Rangers games has always been one of my favorite things to do, whether it's with my family or my friends. And I distinctly remember my first ever Rangers game. I was sitting next to my mom, and she actually caught Pudge Rodriguez's ball in her lap on accident, which was really cool, and so that definitely sparked my love for the Rangers, and has made me a fan ever since. Because I do love them so much, I wanted to share a little bit about them, starting with their establishment, leading into their seasons and their players, and then ending with their accomplishments and their current standings. The franchise started in Washington, D.C., and the team was called the Washington Senators, and that was in 1961, according to TexasRangers.com. The Senators, with an official name of the Nationals, took over the MLBC in Washington, D.C. when the former team left to go to Minnesota, which is now known as the Minnesota Twins. Fun facts. The most notable game by the Senators was in 1967 when they played Chicago. They won by 1 point. However, the game took 22 innings and did not end until almost 3 in the morning. So because of this, the MLB adopted a curfew rule, which says that no inning can start after 1 a.m. In 1970, the American League granted permission for the team to move to Arlington, Texas, due to money issues, low attendance, and losing seasons, and just a bunch of other problems that they were having. In 1971, their name was officially changed to the Texas Rangers, and the franchise that we now know had begun. The first game ever to be played by the Rangers was actually postponed due to a player strike because of salary, which is a sad beginning, and it gets even more sad when they lose their first game to the Angels. But despite their hard beginning to their first season, they actually ended second overall, only losing to Oakland, who actually was a World Series champions that year. Moving on to their notable players, in 1988 they signed Nolan Ryan at age 41. According to the Nolan Ryan Foundation, he is without a doubt the most favored Rangers player up until he left as CEO to go to the Astros, which we won't talk about that. He became the first pitcher in MLB history to reach a career goal of 5,000 strikeouts, which is huge. He's also the oldest pitcher in the Major League to ever throw a no-hitter, and he was, I think, 43 at the time that happened. He has the first retired number, which is 34, in Rangers history. Most people who know anything about George Bush knows that he loves his baseball. This is why he bought the Rangers in 1989 and owned them until 1992, according to the Baseball Almanac. In 1996, the franchise clinched its first ever postseason appearance, and since then it has had 5 more appearances. The Rangers, despite not so impressive history and statistics, have had numerous accomplishments, all due to their players' talent. There have been 6 Rangers crowned MVP for the American League. 3 Texas Rangers have been inaugurated into the Baseball Hall of Fame, according to baseballhall.org. They've been repeat champions in the American League in 2011 and 2012, which has been our most recent postseason appearances and almost so close World Series titles. According to BaseballReference.com, the franchise has .476 lifetime winning average and a 4.6 postseason record. Currently, the team isn't doing too great. In fact, just a few hours ago, we actually lost the Astros 0-10, which is really sad, but we'll come back. They currently have a record of 43 wins and 48 losses, which makes them third in the West Division of the American League. Their performance is anything but consistent, but that doesn't mean my love for them isn't. Although the history of the Rangers may not be as impressive as other major league teams, they've had an impression on me. Baseball has always been my favorite sport and my favorite pastime. I love knowing the history of my favorite team, as it kind of produces an appreciation and respect for them that I didn't have before learning all this. I wanted to share with you all the history of their establishment, their seasons, and their notable affiliations and players, and their accomplishments and their current standings. I hope having a little more knowledge of the Rangers inspires you to go have fun at a game or learn more about them yourselves.